Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today we're diving into something that is honestly profoundly transformative. We're unpacking a concept from a text called The Architecture of Inner Response. And look, if you have ever felt completely overwhelmed by just how unpredictable the world can be, and who hasn't, right? Well, you are absolutely in the right place. We're going to break down the exact mechanics of mastering our internal world, and we're going to build this unshakable foundation literally from the inside out. Let's get right into it. So, who is actually in control of your life? I want you to really think about that for a second. It's kind of an uncomfortable reality to confront, isn't it? Because we spend so much of our energy trying to perfectly manage everything, our environments, our careers, even the people around us. But the source material brings us face to face with this really sobering truth. Life simply doesn't always give us control over events, people, or outcomes. Actually, scratch that. Those things are entirely out of our hands. The stock market, the traffic on your commute, your boss's mood, these are external forces. And when we hinge our well-being on trying to micromanage all these uncontrollables, we are just setting ourselves up for perpetual anxiety. Section 1. The illusion of control. To build anything of real value here, we have to start by totally shattering that illusion of control. And we do that by starting with this absolute truth. The path to happiness begins and ends in the mind. It doesn't begin with that big promotion. It doesn't end with a perfect relationship or a flawless bank account. It begins and ends right between your ears. This establishes our fundamental baseline, right? If we lack control over life's chaotic events, then the mind is exactly where true happiness resides. It's a self-contained ecosystem. When you fully internalize this, you realize, wow, joy isn't something I acquire from the outside world. It's a framework I construct internally. Section 2. The power of response. Okay, let's dive into this. If we accept that external chaos is just inevitable, where does that actually leave us? Well, life gives us control over one thing, and literally one thing only, our response. And your response shapes your emotions. How you react to a specific event dictates exactly how you feel about it. Over time, those repeated emotional responses, they solidify. They shape your character, who you are at your absolute core. And from that character, you make your day-to-day decisions. And those decisions, stacked up over a lifetime, ultimately dictate your destiny. It's a direct chain reaction. Your single point of control is the catalyst for your entire existence. No pressure, right? And this brilliantly illustrates that exact point. Two people can face the exact same hardship. I mean, the exact same financial loss, the exact same heartbreak, or the exact same massive setback. But the divergence is so clear. One person becomes bitter while the other becomes wiser. And the difference? It isn't the event itself. The event was identical. The difference is entirely in the consciousness brought to the event. The person who becomes wiser used their response to extract meaning, while the person who becomes bitter let the event dictate their reaction. It's a really powerful reminder of just how much agency we actually hold. Section 3. The chain of consciousness. Let's move to and see how this builds, looking at the actual mechanics of this process step by step. Step 1. Your thoughts influence your emotions. Basically, what you think about an event creates the physical feeling inside your body. Step 2. Those emotions influence your actions. You behave based on how you feel. And step 3, those actions shape your life. It is an unstoppable domino effect. And, when a person truly understands this sequence, something magical happens. They stop exhausting themselves trying to control everything outside, like the traffic, the economy, the random opinions of strangers, and they begin the real work of mastering what is within. You master the thought, you master the emotion, you master the emotion, you master the action. It's just a beautifully logical flow. Section 4. The equation for peace. So the crucial point is, how do we actively apply this? How do we actually rewrite our internal code? Well, we must make an active, conscious exchange. We start by letting go of the old way, the resistance, the impulsiveness, and that heavy confusion that happens when we just constantly fight reality. Instead, we swap resistance for acceptance, this soft, expansive reality where we acknowledge what is happening without constantly fighting it. We replace impulsiveness, those knee-jerk, unthinking reactions, with awareness, creating a deliberate pause before we act. And finally, we replace the confusion of being tossed around by life with a deep, grounded sense of purpose. This right here, this is the blueprint for true emotional freedom. Now, I want to bring all of this together with an incredibly powerful summary drawn directly from our source material. Listen to this. You cannot always control what happens to you, but you can control the meaning you give to it. And that meaning determines the quality of your life. Let that sink in for a second. The quality of your life is not measured by the sum of external events. It is measured entirely by the meaning you actively assign to those events. You are the architect. Which leaves us with a critical question to consider today. What meaning will you give to your next challenge? Because let's be real, there will absolutely be a next challenge. That's pretty much the one guarantee life gives us. But now you know the architecture of your own response. You have the tools, you've seen the logic, and the choice, well, the choice is entirely yours. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, keep reflecting, and I'll catch you next time.